Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to our mindfulness practice. We're going through this is a mindfulness practice. Mindfulness is paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally, and you can be mindful at any point in time throughout your day of there are two ways to be mindful. One is to be mindful in your daily life. And, there's a lot of power in being mindful in daily life, bringing awareness to what's happening right now in this moment, being aware of exactly what's going on and seeing if you can do it without judging what's going on in that activity. What is it? What is it that I'm experiencing? What is it that's happening right now without saying this is good or this is bad, just becoming aware of what's happening in the present. That's really what mindfulness is all about. And that's really where the power in the practice is bringing awareness into this moment that's happening in our daily lives. And of course, how do you do that, right? How do I bring awareness into my daily life? How do I learn to do it more? If I have the intention to do it more, does it happen automatically? Well, the answer to that question is no, it doesn't. Just by trying to be more mindful, it isn't enough. The real way to bring mindfulness into our daily lives is through practice. Is to have some dedicated time set aside to practice paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. And that intentional being mindful and setting aside time to practice being mindful is called meditation. There are several different types of meditation. This series that we're going to be working on in the next few sessions is the open awareness meditation. One of the big benefits of open awareness meditation and practicing it is that it helps us in our daily lives. It helps us because that really is what bringing awareness into daily life is all about. So how can I notice the physical sensations that I'm having in my body when I'm not intentionally trying to pay attention to that particular sensation? So these two types of meditation that we may do a lot, two types of mindfulness meditation. So one, focused attention, focusing on a single object of meditation, such as the breath. This is quite useful in noticing mind wandering and noticing what happens when we're trying really hard to do something and our mind keeps getting distracted. And this, if you've practiced with me before, you know that this is really one of the core things. I'd say in these daily practices, I teach this kind of practice, focused attention practice, more than any of the other practices, because I really do believe that it is the foundation. That when you are not paying attention, when you've lost your focus, this is actually something that's very challenging to notice. And it is foundational to this open awareness practice that we're doing, because we are kind of resetting each time. So we pay attention, we see what's coming in to our window of attention, and see if we can let that go and see what comes in next. And this is, this is a really, open awareness is a really powerful practice when it comes to learning how to bring awareness into daily life. But we do really, this kind of foundation of focused attention is useful so that we learn how to let go and recenter. Because this really is what's kind of core and happening in focused attention, is that you're doing your best. We're doing our best to keep our attention focused on that object, but inevitably it wanders away. We find thoughts are more interesting, sounds outside are more interesting. So over here we've got open awareness. Open awareness is paying attention to everything that's coming in to our present moment experience. And so that can be whatever it is. Through our 6 sense doors, right? You've got the 5 senses plus the mind. So lots of mental images may come into the mind as well. Ruminating, maybe anxiety about the future, or and not even necessarily, maybe these are negative words, rumination and anxiety. Other things can be going on, but oftentimes we'll find that we're thinking about things. And in fact, I had a great moment last night when I found myself thinking about something that I'm going, this is completely not beneficial for me to be pondering this at this moment. I was having, pondering some challenging encounter that I'd had a couple days ago, and it was just popping up into my head. And again, this is something that mindfulness can be very, very helpful when seeing that we're helpful in seeing when we're doing some behavior that isn't helpful for this moment. And so a lot of times we'll find the mind wanders into areas, and the train of thought can persist in these areas for a long period of time. And without mindfulness of it, you might waste a lot of time making yourself anxious, or thinking about something that simply isn't productive. So that's really useful, and knowing how to perform open awareness can help bring that kind of awareness into daily life as we start to become more aware of emotions, bodily sensations, and thoughts that we're having in the moment, and can help us to be more intentional with what it is that we're doing and what it is that we're thinking. Before, just kind of an intro to the intro, a few days ago I talked about Amishi Jha and her research on attention. So attention has there are 3 types of attention, each with a distinct brain region that is involved, or I should say regions of the brain that work together. The types of attention are the flashlight attention, kind of the laser focus, the single point of awareness kind of attention. There is this broader kind of umbrella attention. So like this laser focus attention is like I want to recall a specific memory. I want to remember something specific about that. So pulling that memory out of our memory banks and focusing on it. The broader attention is something that I use the example of Wordle, right? When you're trying your best to think through so many different options of what could be, this is kind of that umbrella kind of attention. And then lastly, the third region is the third kind of attention is management. So that kind of attention where we go, okay, am I thinking about, is my mind functioning the way that I want it to be right now? Am I on task? Am I doing what it is that I want to do? And if I'm not, managing the attention. So we train all 3 of these types of attention as we do open awareness practice. But I mean, maybe the interesting one is that we spend a little bit more time in this broader umbrella attention, whereas some of the others we might spend more time here, and here. So this gives us a little bit more practice in this zone. All right. Welcome, everybody. We are going to get started. Welcome, Aksa. It's great to have you. In this practice, you can choose whatever posture is supportive for you. Would encourage you, if you're feeling up to it, to sit comfortably. If you like, you can allow your eyes to close. If you'd prefer to leave your eyes open, just having a soft gaze, perhaps downwards at about a 45-degree angle. And arriving in our practice in stillness. So as best we can, keeping the body still. The reason we're keeping the body still is so that we're not actively engaging, actively creating sensation, actively creating thoughts around those sensations. So sitting still and just allowing whatever it is that may come to come. So being aware of the body, being aware that you have a body. You are not a disembodied consciousness just kind of floating around. You are tethered to this earth, to this universe, to this reality by this physical structure in which you inhabit 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. And your body is always giving you feedback. Even when something novel isn't happening, we're still getting information from all of our nerves. Can you feel where you're being touched? There is pressure on the body. Unless we're in free fall, all of us are being contacted by something. Something is keeping us from falling towards the center of the earth. Can you bring your attention to that pressure that your cushion, your chair, your bed, your mat are putting on the body? And see if you can bring in all the details of that physical sensation. Where is the pressure greater? Where does the pressure taper off? Where are you no longer being touched? If your skin is exposed, can you feel the air in the room if it's moving? Can you feel perspiration on the surface of the skin? Can you feel that your skin is dry? Do you feel tingling, itching? What is it? What normal, natural, physical sensations are you feeling in your body? So from head to toe, do you feel any tension in the muscles? And in observing any tension, can the simple awareness of that tension help it to relax? So not trying to relax when we find tension. Instead, simply being aware of it. Ah, this is here now, we may say to ourselves. Befriending difficult physical sensations if you can. What's that even mean? This is here now. This is here now. Just seeing if we can be in acceptance, roll out the red carpet to welcome whatever it is that we're feeling in the realm of our physical sensations. This is a part of my experience, of my life, of my body in this moment. And as we sit in stillness, it may become apparent that we are not completely still. We are, in fact, moving ever so slightly as we breathe. This life-giving breath. Noticing how the body expands and contracts as we breathe. So this also comes into our realm of physical sensation, into our canvas of feeling. So what's your attention like as you observe the body? Does it get stuck in one place? Do you find that you can be aware of your entire body at once? Or are certain sensations louder from time to time? And for example, right now the wind just began blowing behind me. The feeling of coolness on my skin becomes more apparent. Now I feel it more on my right arm. So with open awareness, seeing if you can observe what is the most prominent in attention. And then release it, recenter attention, and be aware of what comes next. Today's practice, we're simply doing the intro. We'll dive into more details as we go on. But for now, seeing if you can be aware as different physical sensations arrive in the focus and the spotlight of your awareness. So now let's all take one deep breath in together. And as we breathe out, letting go of physical sensations out of the focus of awareness. And now bringing into awareness sounds. What are you hearing? So like physical sensations, sounds are only happening in the present. Just like our nerves are collecting physical information and feeling, so are our auditory nerves collecting data about what we're hearing. So what are you hearing right now? Fan noise, traffic perhaps. What do you hear in this room that you're sitting in? Or if you're outside, maybe the sounds of nature. If you're inside, maybe you hear the sounds of nature outside. And so we're not listening for anything, we're not trying to hear anything. We're simply opening up, becoming aware of whatever it is that we might be hearing right now. And in that soundscape, of course, includes the sound of my voice. Somehow these sounds coming out of my mouth make meaning as they hit your ear. Your brain decodes them into words, into sentences. See if also that you can be aware of the raw sound without meaning. The sound of human voice. Along with everything else that's in your soundscape. Just taking a moment to hear what sounds fall on the ear. So now let's take a deep breath in together. And as we exhale, releasing sounds. And now, what is on the mind? Turning inward to see what's here. And what interesting phenomenon is sometimes when we turn inward to look at our thoughts, we suddenly find the slate blank. To our surprise, nothing's there. Or something intense might be there, or something that doesn't seem so meaningful might be there. What is there? What do you find as you turn towards thoughts? Seeing if you can become aware of a thought and then releasing it. Releasing it through that awareness, recentering, see what thought comes next. And now let's take one more deep breath in together. Breathe out, releasing our thoughts. And coming back to the breath, to the body. And this time, having a bit more focus on the breath. Just feeling the body moving as you breathe. Expanding as you inhale. Contracting as you exhale. So well done. I know this practice can be a little bit more challenging than focused attention. Be looking forward to hearing your thoughts. And I'm going to go ahead and close our practice with 3 rings of the bell. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here and practicing with me. I hope you had a good practice today. Well, what's that mean anyway? Good practice. Feel free to write in the chat. How did it go today? What did you observe as you were practicing today? And so as I'm waiting for the chat to start to fill in, just say that, this definition of mindfulness is paying attention on purpose in the present moment non-judgmentally. And it can be done and practiced all the time. And I would encourage you to practice it more. So you'll see that attention is such a key for your interaction in daily life. Because how often we might be doing something that isn't useful and not realizing that we're doing it. I love to use angry encounters as an example, because angry encounters are one of those that rarely are we really aware of what's going on in those encounters. And if we were more aware, we might, what would I choose? When I'm aware in those encounters, I might find a way to disengage and to go do something else. And so just one more little example of mindfulness is just listen for a moment. Okay, listen again. And so no matter what you think about how your ability to meditate is, you just successfully meditated for 3 seconds. You stayed focused in that time as you listened to the bell, as you focused your attention there. It's doable. Everybody can do it, no matter what you feel or think about meditation. You can stay focused. And so it is possible, and I think it's very possible as well not to get caught up in our own opinion about how things are going. Of course, if you try and stay focused on a, let's call it a mundane object like the breath for an hour, like you're not going to be able to stay focused for that full hour. There are going to be times that the mind wanders away, and that's okay. This is, but it is possible. It is possible to stay focused. Listen to the bell. So we all can do it. All right, I'm going to have a look at the chat here. Thank you, everybody. Caesar shares lots of distraction today. Kept on trying. Well done. Keep it up, Caesar. Haresh, thanks for being here. Keep up your practice. Jean shares, my thoughts were prominent even when I was trying to focus on physical sensations and auditory activity. I keep practicing and keep it up. That's all you can do. And can you roll out the welcome mat, the red carpet for the Jean who's here today? For the Ryan who's here today, for the Sybil who's here today. Be welcoming, because we're different every time we show up to practice. Barbara says, I had a difficult time sitting still today. I observed it and smiled at myself, and it became easier to sit still. Thanks, Barbara. Sybil shares, when we got to looking at thoughts, I had a clean slate. You mentioned it often happens to me in meditation. I'm glad you mentioned it's normal. I have to say that's what always surprises me, because this is the typical thing that I go, okay, it's time to look at thoughts now, and like, wait, where did all my thoughts go? I thought my mind was so busy. So that's an interesting one. Thanks, Sybil. Graham says, thunderstorms in South Carolina, hummingbirds flying around. It's perfect. Thanks, Graham. Thanks for sharing, and thanks for your donation. Thanks, Francesca. All right, that's it. That's the practice for today. We will be back on Thursday morning or Wednesday night for you if you're in the Western Europe, Western Hemisphere, Western Africa. Look forward to sharing another practice with you. We're going to be now. So this was the little intro into open awareness, and so what we'll be doing in the next few sessions is kind of checking each one of these sense doors and spending a little time on each one, and then at the end of doing all of that, it's not this coming Saturday morning, but the following Saturday morning, we're going to be doing a long open awareness practice. If you're interested in open awareness as well, I have a free track in open awareness. I think it's a 45-minute open awareness practice. It's okay. It's good. It's worth practicing if you want to give it a try. I think the 45-minute format, or longer than 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, can be quite useful for open awareness, because it is good to kind of spend a little bit of time building each one of these objects, each one of these sense doors, and understanding, through experiencing each of those sense doors individually before kind of pulling them together, because open awareness can be, for me, I think I get feedback from other people that love open awareness and it's their foundational practice, but I find open awareness is for me a lot more challenging than focused attention. So that's what that recording is there for. It's a free track on Insight Timer. You can check it out. Cece says, thinking, daydreaming, I'll keep coming back and practicing. Thanks. And thanks again, everybody, for being here. Let's close practice with well wishes. So sending some well wishes close to home here to ourselves, sending well wishes out to each other, and then out to the entire world, universe, sentient life, whatever you want to do. So join with me. If you can say it out loud if you like. You can say it in your mind, or you can not follow along at all if that's what you prefer. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone watching, listening right now, wherever they are, I wish you all happiness and peace. May all sentient life around the universe, across the universe, on this earth of ours, human beings, big, small, good, bad, may we all be happy and peaceful. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, CC, for your donation. And thank you all. I'll see you again in a couple days. Bye-bye.